Hello there, and welcome to another edition of the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washed, and we're going to get into Akron. We're going to get you ready for Houston Christian. But first and foremost, guys, we're brought to you by our new presenting sponsor here of the show. We're presented by Applebee's. How about that?
Yeah, that's huge.
It's a big day in your world, Sip.
Well, it's not small. I mean, I swear by the Oriental salad. I mean, it's really good.
So we're proud to have Applebee's in Nebraska
I think that's what it's called,
as a presenting sponsor now of the Husker Online Show. And it tells you the impact we've had on the show, that Applebee's once on board, and we're excited to work with Applebee's. So we'll hear more, and also a free special that you'll get some free wings. We'll tell you about that next in our next segment.
Yeah, free wings would get anybody's attention.
Basically, Sipple's going to buy you an order of wings.
Pretty much.
It's a hell of a deal.
And happy to do it, too.
And you might come out and visit people. Now, we won't go that far, but let's
really pushing this, Sean.
Well, let's talk. Obviously, Nebraska gets their first shutout win, 68-0 against Akron. Most yards Nebraska had put up in a game in Memorial Stadium in a long time. Most points since 2012. I mean, they got everything they wanted out of that game, and it included kind of a little bit of adversity early with the fumble, the goal line stuff, them driving down the field before halftime and getting a field goal, Nebraska responding with a block. I mean, I think that is the other part I liked about last week, was how this team responded to maybe just some in-game adversity.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, Sean, I'll be honest, I didn't think there was a lot of adversity because it was clear who the better team was, and I don't think they ever really worried about it. They did respond well, though. I just thought, Sean, I thought it was more important the way they responded right out of the gate. Like, it was evident from the jump that they were dialed in. So, I mean, when was Emmett's run? How soon was that?
First
drive. They blocked it really well. And he had a lot of zip. And I noticed in the preseason warmups, the team had a lot of zip, including Emmett. Emmett was fired up for, I don't know. There's a fired up team, and it showed right away. So that's what I was more interested in.
Yeah, they started fast, and to Sean's point, though, they did finish. And how many times have we had games like this where Nebraska jumps out early and then they just kind of, go through the motions through the final quarter and a half, 2 quarters, and the score is not nearly as dominant as it could have been. There was no question about who the better team was. Nebraska absolutely dominated this game from start to finish, and the video that came out about Matt Rule, like, I thought that kind of showed why Nebraska had that same kind of killer mentality in the second half when previous teams may have, lightened up, take their foot off the gas. This one was locked in from the finish. And even the most impressive part to me was, like, yeah, the starters did their thing like they were supposed to, but even the backups, like when Latif came in and, that second team line, third team line, they're getting like their 4th-string players. There wasn't much let off. And I think that's really encouraging for such a young team to have so many young guys get that kind of experience, have that type of success. You can really build on that for the future. And
now you turn the page to Houston Christian. I think the challenge is, can you duplicate that again? You don't get the light show. You don't get the all-day build-up, the home crowd at night. It's an 11 a.m. game. It's Houston Christian, which on just name recognition, I think is one of the most least recognizable opponents to ever play at Memorial Stadium. And I challenge you, maybe Idaho State, maybe.
No, those are more recognizable.
Bethune-Cookman.
More recognizable.
Pacific, who doesn't play football anymore. Right. But this is up there. And
no, it's the one. I think you're right.
You have to, get them up. And, we were out there and we saw that campus at Houston Christian. We met their coach, Jason Bachtel.
Yeah.
And you interviewed him at length in 2024. But it's a huge difference in resources. I mean, the stadium at Houston Christian, literally the opposite sideline, what would be like the east sideline at Memorial Stadium, overlooks a CVS store.
Yeah, we went in there.
A CVS store literally is next to their field. Like, you could see it. Like, behind the bench, there's a CVS sign.
Oh, actually, you went into the CVS and I waited in the car for some reason.
But here's some pictures, actually, from when we were out at Houston Christian.
Oh, sweet. There you go.
I thought it was funny, too, about that. Like, Dana Holgerson, who coached at University of Houston. They asked if he had any interaction with Houston Christians. Like, no, they might as well have been in California.
Yeah, he said LA. You might as well have been in LA.
So that kind of gives you a perspective. Like, even locally, they are hardly a blip on the radar. And I think I saw something too where, I don't know where I saw it, was on the board or on social media, but like they did the thing where you can kind of project what a point spread would be, and they did Akron versus Houston Christian, and Akron would be like a 13-point favorite over Houston Christian. So Nebraska just beat Akron by 68, and Akron was a projected 13-point favorite over Houston Christian. You can kind of expect what this weekend will look like.
You know what it is, though. I almost hesitate to say this because I'm not a coach, but it's play to your standard, your own standard. You don't even really worry about who you're playing at all.
That's the message.
I mean, and I would maybe include in the message, people are probably expecting you to let down. So don't.
Hey, Northern Iowa last year was that way. I mean, Nebraska won 38-3, but don't let that score fool you.
No, that game didn't look right. It
didn't have a very good feel.
So there you go. That's another thing you might say to the guys. Don't come out of this game with people saying it doesn't have a very good feel, because you got Michigan next. You want to have a good feel going to Michigan.
They didn't have a good feel coming out of UNI. Look what happened the next week. Lost.
So
in a game they couldn't finish against Illinois.
There's Terrence Knighton at Houston Christian.
And you do want momentum. Now, I'm not saying that you tell players that, but I think a lot of players are mature enough to understand that, and the coaching staff certainly is. You don't want to lose momentum going into the Michigan week. You want to gain momentum.
You want to come out of what you want this day to be is you have another performance like we saw last week. You go home and everyone's going to go home and watch the Crawford fight. I mean, that's the perfect Saturday.
It is. That's what they're going to do. That's what that team will do. That's a big Crawford camp over there at Memorial Stadium.
Big time.
Yeah, and you know what? I was thinking about that today. I like that marriage. I love the Crawford Rule program marriage. Rule has really embraced that. And Bud's one of the all-time best fighters any weight class. He's from Omaha. I'm glad there's a coach here that's wrapping his arms around that whole thing. It could only be good.
Yeah, it's great for Bud to be around and like just have his presence. And I think it's another example of Rule and his just wanting to be associated with greatness. When he sees someone that has a chance to go down as one of the best pound for pound fighters,
he is already
in boxing history, and do something that no one has ever done. Like that's what you want around your team. You want guys like that in your locker room that your players can look to, and like that's what the best of the best looks like. And when you have just people like that, presences like that around your program, it's infectious. And you start to live up to that and want to have that mentality. Where who was it? I can't remember today. Said that it's like it was Corey Barney. He's like that was he's a warrior, and he's a warrior with a bunch of warriors. And so like just I think adopting that mentality and surrounding yourself with people that are the best at what they do. There's a lot of value to that.
And the best news, that fight's on Netflix. So if you just have like a standard Netflix subscription, you'll get that fight. So
that's incredible.
Normally a fight like that would cost $100.
Yeah, it would.
More.
Yeah.
Canelo Alvarez is going to make over $100 million on this fight.
Hello. Oh, it's going to be. I mean, I'm not going to break down the fight, but it'll be an amazing.
He's getting
fight.
like 75-80% of the purse, and Bud's going to get. That's been kind of Bud's challenge is getting people to watch his fight.
You'll get your money's worth because this is a fight that'll go the distance.
And I think if this is a good fight, he wins or loses in a close thing. Is it set up then for Nebraska to get the stadium fight?
Well, Sean, I know.
Or is that harder?
You got to get a guy to come in and do it. You got to get a guy to say, you know what, I'm probably going to lose this fight because I'm not getting a decision in that situation, right?
The sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, you're bringing a sacrificial lamb. I mean, that's
and you want to see Bud win.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it.
right. Yeah. So, but I think you could find a sacrificial lamb pretty easily because you're going to pay that sacrificial lamb a lot of money. So I would.
Could you do this fight in September and then have like a June stadium fight?
Yeah. Oh, June. Yeah,
September.
Yeah.
To June. I mean,
there's enough time there. Yeah.
Who knows what Dannon's thinking, but I know it's on his radar. But you know how that is. It's easier said than done to get
especially in that world, that boxing world. There's a lot that would have to align there.
Well, someone's got to pay the boxers. I mean, you have to get a TV partner and obviously the gate and negotiate the gate. Because if you did draw 75,000 people, like how do you figure out that split?
I don't know, but it would be incredible. Do you think they draw 75 for that?
Oh, I just threw that number out there. I would think they draw at least 50.
Yeah,
I think at least 50.
Yeah, bottom line
depends how cheap the tickets are.
bottom line is like Rob said, having Bud embrace the program and then the program re-embracing it is only good. He's
All
a
right.
champ and he's tougher than hell.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we should have a great Saturday ahead. Nebraska, Houston Christian at 11. The Bud Crawford fight later at night.
Sean's jacked up.
And we'll have another great post.
It's the best Saturday
we'll
ever.
have the Bud Crawford fight preview show on the HuskerOnline post
Yeah,
game
we're
show.
gonna have to be done fairly efficiently.
Your assignments are to learn something that you can bring to the table in the way of analysis of that. Okay?
Canelo Alvarez, baby.
Yeah.
Who was it? Corey Barney didn't know who he was fighting.
Alvarez, really good defensive fighter, but really powerful both.
Pride of Mexico right now.
See, the interesting part of that fight will be the tactical, because Bud's really smart. He'll have a great game plan. So Alvarez, though.
I would love to know the dynamic in Omaha with so many Hispanic boxing
Oh,
people.
good point.
Are
Yeah.
they cheering for Crawford as
I
the
don't
Omaha
know.
guy? Are
Yeah.
they cheering for Canelo Alvarez?
I'd love to
Better
know
be
that
cheering for
dynamic.
Bud.
I'd love to know that dynamic. Yeah. I'll ask my
Better be
neighbors.
cheering for Bud.
That's amazing. That's a great conversation.
Because obviously Canelo Alvarez is as big of a star as there is in Mexico. So
I think so. Yeah.
and South Omaha is full. So it would be interesting to know
Yeah, it would be brilliant.
what those fight parties are going to be like.
Yeah, that'd be fascinating to know that.
All right. When we come back, we will talk offensive storylines coming out of Akron and into Houston Christian. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. Back here on the Husker Online Show, Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washett, presented again by Applebee's. Our new presenting sponsor, the Ultimate Trio, is here at Applebee's. It's perfect for game day. With this app, you're the play caller. You pick any 3 apps and sauces for your Ultimate Trio for just $14.99 with over 80,000 combinations between the apps and the sauces. Applebee's has something everyone will enjoy. Plus, they have half-price appetizers Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 every day, and 9 p.m. to close. That's 7 days a week. So going to Applebee's after 9 o'clock, half price appetizers. That's wings, mozzarella sticks, pretzels, you name it, all half off. Perfect for game day. And guys, I got some Applebee's. I picked some up the other day.
You did?
Got the sirloin broccoli with shrimp over the top. I think it was excellent.
I always have a soft spot for Applebee's. My first job out of college was in Montrose, Colorado, and the
Wait a
bar
second.
scene there was about as dingy as it gets, to where it really was not a pleasant experience going to the bars there. So, like, to watch games and stuff, you would go to Applebee's.
No kidding.
It was like the best available option, and I have good drinks, good apps, big TV right there at the bars, everything you needed. So for that year, Applebee's was my go-to spot.
Nice personal vignette. That was good.
I went to Applebee's for the first time in like 93, and I was in Boulder for a basketball tournament. And I mean, I thought I was at like the nicest restaurant I've ever been to. I was just blown away.
How old were you?
13.
Well, it's still really nice. And I've always said about Applebee's, it is a feel-good place. It's just, for some reason, you just feel good in that place.
Well, you're going to feel even better because Stephen and Sipple is going to be a part of this. If you just come in and tell your server at Applebee's, Huskers, they're going to give you 6 free boneless wings with a $10 purchase. So just come into any Applebee's in Lincoln, North Platte, Scottsbluff, Kearney, Sidney, Grand Island, York, and Columbus. In fact, I always see that one on I-80 right off by York. And I just imagining Husker fans driving back from the game. It's a good pit stop. Go and get some wings.
And say Huskers.
Get
Say
an Oriental
Huskers.
salad, say Huskers, boom, 6 free boneless wings.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good combination, by the way. It is.
What time we going?
right now.
Let's get into it. Offensive storylines here heading into the week. Nebraska and Houston Christian. You know, Dylan, I'm still just floored by that record, 20 consecutive completions. And Dylan had the right answer. He didn't really know about it. He goes, the only record I care about is 2-0, but 20 consecutive passes in a row. We may never see that again in the history of Nebraska.
I wouldn't be surprised if Dylan does it.
It might be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's really – listen, talk about – I hate to say it this way. Akron's really overmatched against a quarterback like Dylan. And that was pretty evident. And with now, you're starting to see – you saw it against Cincinnati. Those receivers are pretty good.
Mhm.
Hunter's probably a little better than you thought, right?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't give him nearly enough credit.
Key is getting paid a lot, and he's looks like he's worth it. I don't know. Hunter might be too. I don't know what they're making, but it's a good group of receivers, and Barney looked really good the other night. And then, of course, you had Quinn Clark coming over the middle, catching that ball that Holgerson said that he catches a lot in practice, and I can see why. That's a good route for him, that big horse coming over the middle. And then, you probably have a smaller corner trying to tackle him, and he'll step through that a lot of the time.
Yeah, throw Lindenmeyer in there as well. And his evolution as just kind of the blocking tight end to being the best all-around tight end on the roster, to where he's a legitimate receiving threat
he looks
now.
good.
So, I mean, that's a big reason why Dylan has had the early success, just with his efficiency, but it's also because he's making good decisions with the football. He's not forcing it. He's not sitting in the pocket and chucking things downfield that are getting picked off like happened last year. He's getting the ball out quickly. He knows where he's going with the ball, so that means he's got a full command and understanding of the option or of the offense and every single play they're calling. And then his ability to check and read the defense, like all those things are just kind of one example after another of his maturation as a quarterback and just how much more settled in he is running this offense compared to where he was a year ago.
And Joe Moorhead, the Akron head coach, former Mississippi State head coach, said after the game, they're hard to defend because you can't just say, we're going to key on this guy. They have so many options. And I think all of these options make each other better. Like Luke Lindenmeyer a year ago wasn't as good because he didn't have the receivers and other things rolling around him like he does now. I think one game it's going to be Dan Key. Another game it's going to be an Isaiah Hunter.
Could be Ja'Cory.
Could be Ja'Cory Barney. I mean, I think it's mainly those three. And you'll see some guys off the bench contribute at times. But those three and obviously Luke Lindenmeyer and then Emmett Johnson. I mean, that group of five is going to probably produce a good lion's share of the yards.
I'll tell you one thing that's interesting that's developed. You correct me if I'm wrong. It almost looks like, Quinn Clark, I think, would be number 4 right now. And then Keelan Smith. You notice Cortez Mills shuffled back a little bit.
Yeah, you wonder where he's at.
He's a freshman. That's where he's at.
Picture.
He played quite a bit in Cincinnati, but didn't get involved really at all.
I just go back to freshmen. Keelan Smith, redshirt freshman. Quinn Clark, redshirt freshman. They've been around here. They're developed so well physically. Both Quinn Clark and Keelan Smith. Not that Cortez Mills isn't. He's a different receiver than those guys. Those guys are big body, big radius receivers. Mills is a little different than that.
Just that year of development.
Oh, it's huge.
I mean, not only just with your physical stuff, but just the adjusting to the speed of this level and knowing what it takes to get that separation and fight through coverage and all that sort of things. Like that just comes with reps. And those guys have a year more reps than a guy like Cortez Mills does.
What did you guys think of Turner Corcoran in that move as the extra tight end? And
it looked really good on Ives' touchdown run. For sure.
I mean, it's a lot of muscle they put out there.
Were they in the jumbo when Ives' touchdown run?
And Carter Nelson then kind of came around and did like a crash block or where he came in and just hit the last guy.
It was basically the same play that Emmett scored on that opening series, except it was Harburg that came through and did the same type.
They were in jumbo on that?
No.
Okay.
But it was the same type of blocking. So tight end blocking too has been a big part of it.
Yeah, I like the jumbo with Corcoran. It gets him on the field. He's a good run blocking tackle, and he's smart. He's intelligent enough to handle that. He's playing tight end. I mean, it's basically a position switch.
You really put the defense in a pickle though when you have Gatula with Corcoran next to him, with Lindenmeyer at the line of scrimmage, and then another tight end coming.
Right.
That's a lot of bodies to count for.
Yeah. So I like it. It's on film now. Michigan's got to think about it, and they'll probably work off of it too. Yeah, you'll see wrinkles of some sort.
But yeah, we didn't see Elijah Pritchett till the second half. The new depth chart this week has Gunnar Gatula outright number 1 now, left tackle.
Ooh,
and Corcoran outright number 2. There's not a single or at left tackle anymore. So Pritchett is the clear number 3 going into Houston Christian. What do you think about that?
I think it's. I mean, he's the most. See, the thing about it is Pritchett's the most talented. So it's obvious it's something that's not like probably false start type things in practice. Just not maybe losing some focus.
Can I trust him?
Behind the scenes things that we don't know.
He is the most talented, but he's not the best. So as you guys know, most talented doesn't always mean
there could, like in our world, there could be a really talented writer. We've been around some of those guys before, but they don't have the work ethic to be as good as other people. And and you don't really consider them as good because they don't work like other people.
Right.
And we've seen guys come and go in this industry that, and it's the same thing. Like it doesn't matter how talented you are. Like the work ethic, the process, the program is more important.
Yeah, you see it in every walk of life. You do,
no doubt. I mean, it's in.
But Pritchett, hey, here's the news. He's a junior. He's got time.
Right. Has he redshirted?
I don't think so.
Don't.
Because how many times does a third string tackle play more than 4 games?
I don't know.
Oh, they're gonna. I mean, here's the kind of money they're paying him.
Here, the complicator in that discussion, Rob, is even if he doesn't play a lot, I mean, the NFL knows about him. I don't know how it's going to work exactly.
Game to game.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what that draft stock looks like now.
Definitely lower. He's third on the depth chart.
He's got all the talent, but
he's got
that only takes you so far.
He's very explosive.
All right, when we come back, we'll shift that discussion over to the defense. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. And we're back here on the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washett, segment of the Husker Online Show brought to you by Omaha Steaks. It's been just 2 straight weeks of elite tailgating. I mean, I'm telling you, elite. Between Arrowhead Stadium, Memorial Stadium, you've had Chamber of Commerce weather, great build-ups to the game. So more than likely, you've cooked through all your Omaha Steaks at this point. And, by the way, they serve Omaha Steaks hamburgers in the stadium now.
Oh.
And I believe our press hamburgers were Omaha Steaks.
Were they?
Oh.
Were Abby confirmed.
Oh, really?
They were pretty good.
Okay. I noted for this week.
But Omaha Steaks has a ton of great specials going on. They have the Red Hot Sale event. You'll get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, the listeners of Husker Online get $35 off by using the promo code HuskerOnline. So time to re-up, restock, put in your order at Omaha Steaks. Again, it's omahasteaks.com. They've already got 50% off a lot of their great items and boxes. We're going to give you $35 more off with the promo code HuskerOnline. Be the star of your tailgate and bring the Omaha Steaks.
Good idea.
All right, well, let's get into the defensive talk. And, I still, guys, think the defensive line, the play against the run is going to be a story until they really prove it against a Power 4 opponent. And, I think they were serviceable against Akron. Akron was 1 of 14 on third downs. But I still look at that first down number. Nebraska gave up 3.9 yards per carry on 15 first down runs, which
it's not great.
It's not great. But it's not good either. And
no, it's not right.
I mean, like you had they averaged 2nd and 6 essentially on the first down runs, which when you play Michigan and other teams like that, that's not going to cut it.
To be clear, you're just going with not good.
Average.
Yeah, it's average.
C minus. C
minus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have expected better than that. And you're right. It'll be an ongoing conversation. Until even if they shut the door on somebody, the conversation doesn't automatically go away, except if they would shut the door on Michigan. Although, guys, Michigan doesn't power up and run it like they did under Harbaugh. They're not using 2 tight ends. They're like 1 tight end team now.
It's more like Cincinnati.
Yeah. So, but you'll get a much better idea with facing Justice Haynes, the Michigan running back. But it's just, to me, it's not a talent issue. It's almost a size issue to me. It's not a very big group of guys. I've said this before, Rob, to Sean. I noticed it this summer when I'd see the guys. Cam Linhart, great looking athlete. He's a great looking athlete. If you see him like just in street clothes, if you see Keona Davis in street clothes, you're like, man, those guys are fit, great looking athletes, but they're not very big, And
the fact that they're playing Lenhart and Cade Pietrzak on the interior, I don't know if that's just like a matchup thing or what, or if it speaks more to their feeling about the depth they have on that interior line. I know today on Tuesday, John Butler said that they view kind of their defensive line spots as all interchangeable. Like
interesting.
Their inside guys can play outside can play inside, which is great, but unless it's really that big of a difference where you don't have the size needed to hold up against the run in conference play. And again, like you said, that Michigan game is going to be the first true test. We saw a little bit of why that was the concern all offseason against Cincinnati, and there's not going to be much, I think, that changes that until they go out and do it, starting with Michigan.
Yeah, like going back just to the bowl game, the last time they had their old D-line, I mean, Boston College averaged just 1.8 yards per rush in the bowl game.
In Akron, averaged 3.9 on first down.
3.9 on first down runs.
Right.
So, I mean, I think the studious Husker fan recognizes that has to get better. I mean, the running backs for Boston College had 33 yards rushing in the game.
That's with Nash Hutmacher in there and
Ty Robinson,
and Jamari Butler. And again, I will mention MJ Sherman because I think he belongs in that conversation as a good jack. And I love their jack line. I love their current jack linebacker position. It's really good. And I think their D linemen are talented guys. I just think a couple of them are a year or two away.
They're young.
Yeah. Now the revelation on Saturday, we're remiss not to mention it until now, is Kade Pietrzak.
What a story.
Yeah. Now that looks like, see what he looks like as a developing star. I'm not saying he's going to for sure be a star. There's a lot of work to do, but man, he makes an impression on you. Reminds you of some, I'm not even going to mention greats of the past, but it kind of reminds you of a few guys. He's really explosive. Today, John Butler talked about the look. He has that look in his eye.
Like great pros have had that he's coached.
Yeah, kind of. John Butler said it, a little off.
In a good way.
But in a good way. Yeah, a little off, but in a good way. So I like that picture. I mean, he flashed immediately against Akron. Immediately.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he's already doing this, 2 games, and that really, like, I don't even count Cincinnati. He played 1 snap. So, like, this was really his debut and makes one of the biggest plays of the game with that safety and shows just kind of the dynamic. Talking about a defensive line that just kind of lacked that explosive, game-changing type of plays. Well, he went out and got one as a true freshman in his first real experience in that spotlight.
Sean, you saw it. You kind of saw this coming, didn't you?
Well, a couple of weeks before that in Tunnel Talk, I had wrote in Tunnel Talk that somebody told me that Kade Pietrzak right now would be a starter for a lot of Power 4 teams.
Hello.
And you hear a lot of these types of camp chatter things. I mean, we've heard them for decades. Like, oh, this guy's going to be a star. Then then he only plays 1 snap against Cincinnati. I'm like, okay. Well, I think we saw it finally. What that person I talked to was referring to.
Well, and Butler said today the coaching staff erred in playing him only 1 snap. He said that's on us. We should have played him more against Cincinnati. And then Butler basically closed by saying, he's playing. He's going to play. I'd be surprised if he goes a game without playing 10 snaps at least.
Wait until he has to wait till he starts training at a high level here. I mean, he's only had 1 summer.
Yeah, he wasn't here in the spring.
No.
So yeah, he's kind of a recent phenomenon.
And I'm guessing the NIL market world for him will ramp up too. I mean,
I want to say something too. I've kind of aired some other discussions with other people saying I don't like the D-line recruiting and there's not enough young guys coming up. That's probably wrong. They have some guys, Tyson Terry and Malcolm Simpson. Is it Malcolm Simpson? Simpson, the kid from Texas who's injured. But we liked him this summer. I thought he was a guy that was coming. I think he might have helped Simpson, the kid from Texas.
Oh yeah.
So actually they do have some guys in there.
Winery's a redshirt freshman.
Right.
Ashton Murphy got a sack.
Right.
So I mean, he's a redshirt freshman. So they've got guys.
They have some guys.
Just young.
Yeah.
Got to cut their
Did
teeth.
Mason Goldman play, Robin, in that game?
Yeah, he did.
I think so.
On the D line.
Yeah, he played. He played.
I mean, there was like 75 guys that played, so I have to make sure. But yes, I'm fairly confident.
Hufkin got in.
Hufkin got in for like 5 snaps.
So they got a lot of guys in. That was the real benefit of the game. Desan McCullough had a sack called off because his fingers kind of nicked the guy's face mask, but I thought he took a step forward last week.
Marquise Watson Trent did.
The secondary continues to play at an elite level. They're playing physical with their hands. I mean, they're getting after guys.
Playing a lot of man. They look good. Now, tempered a little bit, as people pointed out on our message board, Akron dropped 5+ passes. I mean, pretty legit drops. So that helped. But no, that's a good group. They kind of retooled it a little bit, with Hartzog playing safety and Buford playing safety and going out and getting a new corner.
PFF scored them with 6 drops.
6 drops. Thank you, Sean. Getting Andrew Marshall. And then I keep saying it, but having Singleton going into the season healthy has made a big difference. He didn't last year. And he's a baller now. That the dude, he's like if you're looking for an impact players on the defense, he might lead that list.
Yeah, you could make a strong case that Singleton is the most important player on that defense, just because of all the different things that he does. Not only just with his coverage in the secondary, but basically serving as another linebacker in his play in the box and his ability to make those impact tackles early and set the tone. Like, he does something at almost all 3 levels of the defense.
You know who looked like a young Nate Gary out there late? Rex Guthrie.
Because he's white.
No, Gary was fat. They're both fast.
I mean, you could have picked a lot of guys, but
real low-hanging fruit,
Jeez. Like,
you had to go to the white guy. But
he's built like Nate Gary.
Yeah, he is. He's built like a lot of safety.
Hey, this isn't any better, but I said he looked like Philip Bland during the game. Remember?
Okay, I'll try to think of a white guy. How about O'Hanlon? He reminds me of Matt O'Hanlon.
Pat Ricketts.
No, I see what you're saying. Thank you. Just pick a one. Anyway, no, Guthrie. They said the same thing about Guthrie, that he could start.
Troy Watchhorn.
Keep going.
Watchhorn from Columbus. He was a baller.
I know.
But yeah, no, Guthrie. They have some young depth. Donovan Jones, you'd say young depth.
Black shirt.
Yeah. I'd say Larry Tarver's some young depth.
What I like about the secondary is you can kind of see what it's going to be in the future. Donovan Jones, Caleb Benning, Rex Guthrie.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned those guys.
I mean, you've got like
Tarver
group of players on the come.
Yeah, you do.
After the starters. And those starters, a lot of those starters have played a lot of football.
Yeah. Oh, God, yes. I mean, the seniors they're losing some serious senior talent now. Singleton, Buford, Sierra Wright. Malcolm Hartzog.
Who knows? I mean, I would assume Marshall returns.
I think so.
I never assume.
No, I know you can't in this world.
Jameer Khan played 39 snaps.
Yes, he did.
Don't
Thanks for mentioning
him. Led all the secondary. In snaps.
Yeah, that's something we should watch. In fact, when you talked to Rule on Thursday, Malcolm went out. That's why
he got dinged up.
Yeah, that's why Jameer Khan played a lot. So you got to kind of watch that Malcolm Hartzog injury. But again, programs developing. You don't have this panic now that this senior safety went down because you have senior. I mean, are they playing nickel? What the hell are they playing him at?
Basically
5 DBs.
Yeah. So he goes down. Jameer Khan comes in and plays well too. Baller.
I think Hartzog just wanted to be able to make sure he saw himself in the light show.
That was.
You mean?
Simple thought it was a reindeer.
Yeah, the best part is the Hartzog going up for the pick, whatever. Is that a reindeer? No, Steve.
I don't know why it was. I didn't know why. It just looked like a reindeer to me. I couldn't put it together in my head why there'd be a reindeer.
I didn't put together that it was actually Hartzog's pick against Cincinnati. I thought it was just like a Nebraska player catching the ball. That was pretty cool.
Hopefully we get one more light show at least this year. It could be USC. You never know how the schedule falls. I mean, heck, Northwestern, Michigan State, there's other opportunities to get a night game in there. I know one of those games is homecoming. So usually the Michigan State game is homecoming. I don't think that's a night game, but possibly Northwestern, possibly USC. One of those two maybe at night, but I would assume USC is the most likely light show. Iowa's at 11 a.m. So, all right, when we come back, Abby Barmore will join us. Another undefeated weekend for Nebraska volleyball, and we'll take questions from Abby in the mailbag next. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. And we're back here on the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washett. This segment brought to you by one of our newest sponsors, Tushy. Guys, if you're not familiar with Tushy and their products,
tell us, Sean.
They get the job done. They take care of very important business.
Okay.
And we all got our Tushies.
Yeah, we did. It's a bidet, just to clarify what this is.
A bidet.
Yeah. It's a real fancy thing that,
it helps secure your toilet paper supply.
Okay.
I will say, like, the first time I ever used one of these, you're just like, whoa, where's this been my whole life? Well, we've got you covered. Hello Tushy is the website. We're going to give you 10% off the products here at hellotushy.com with the promo code HuskerOnline. It's hellotushy.com/HuskerOnline, promo code HuskerOnline. Remember, a hole is only as dirty as the world if you wipe. For a limited time, our listeners get 10% off their first bidet order when you use the code HuskerOnline at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com with promo code HuskerOnline. And
there you go.
Simply got to get yours installed.
Yeah. How do you know it's not?
Let's bring in Abby Barmore mailbag time.
Okay, first one. Which backup were you most pleasantly surprised with against Akron?
Well, we hinted on this earlier.
Go
I'll
ahead.
say Rex Guthrie.
Okay.
I just think for a guy that came in with really no recruiting attention at all, Nebraska was his only legitimate Power 4 offer.
Is that right?
For the most part, I believe, yeah. They identified him at camp. And I thought Rex Guthrie, I just am very impressed with his future.
Where'd he come from?
Colorado.
I'll be darned. Just getting acquainted with him. Go ahead, Rob. I have one. Go ahead, though.
I mean, Pietrzak's the easy answer.
You can do it.
Yeah. I mean, just the way that he came out of one snap the week before to become the star of the game in a lot of senses on that side of the ball. I think it goes, the level of importance is not only that he play well, but he's playing well on a position that needs all the reinforcements they can get. So to get somebody like that shows that he is well on his way to being a fixture in that rotation, not only for this year, but for years to come, was probably as much of a bright spot as there was on the night. I
agree. And then I would go, you know, what's gotten pretty interesting is the rise of Quinn Clark. 6'5", 210. Dad played. He remembers Dad, Ken Clark, very well. He's a great running back. He gets way overlooked when you start listing off Nebraska's greatest running backs. But Quinn Clark, see, here's the thing. You saw the talent, right? You saw it. And then you couple it with what Rule has said. He's apparently a dog. I mean, I think he's a bad man. And I think we're going to see that big receiver become more and more prominent. And you know what? I like that. I like 6'5". And he's 210. Yeah, 6'5", 210 now. Next year will probably be 6'5", 220. That's going to start looking better and better as you go. He looked really good on that route.
That play he made in Matt Rule's first year, I don't think there was a receiver on their 23 roster that makes that play.
No.
And I don't even need to name the names, but they
looked like Randy Moss compared to some of those guys. Just say it. I mean, you could say that.
Next question.
Okay. Which position group was most encouraging from top to bottom?
Sean?
I still love receiver and just the options they have there back to Quinn Clark. But I mean, Isaiah Hunter played elite one-hand catch, Dane Key's touchdown reception, Ja'Cory Barney. I mean, there's just so much there. And then, you know, we're not even talking about Cortez Mills, but he's going to be able to flash and do things. So I really liked what receiver did, but I mean, you could go quarterback, you go a lot of other things too.
Yeah. I mean, secondary, just because they got so many guys, so many snaps, and they played well. Specifically, I would probably go safety. I mean, just because of Guthrie. You know, I'll incorporate Khan in there playing as much as he did, and then just, you know, Caleb Benning and those types. I thought that group with so many young guys kind of getting their first real taste, they all played well top to bottom.
I really like the way Benning looked at first blush. I think he looked very dialed in. He looked very comfortable in that role. He's got some size. What was the question again? The exact
position group top to bottom.
The best?
Yeah, they're also what's on the screen right there.
Oh, what
the most encouraging position group from top to bottom. So
you could make an argument on quarterback pretty easy on this.
Good one.
You could because of Latif.
And even Gramstad completed a pass in there. I mean, the backup quarterbacks that came in, that was as good of a backup performance as we've seen at Nebraska in a long time.
Yeah, Latif's emergence in camp. We didn't know. I mean, just for the sake of context, he started camp 3. And we didn't, Sean, be honest, you didn't think he'd get to past Gramstad.
I thought at the scrimmage, I told you, I go, he's closed the gap.
That was halfway through camp. At the start of camp,
that was the 7th practice.
We were talking like Gramstad will be number 2.
But at the 7th practice or the 6th practice, the open scrimmage that we went to, you could see it that Latif was coming, had closed that gap.
Oh, no doubt about that. There's no doubt.
And then Dana, on like that Tuesday, said that in so many words.
But I'm saying at the start of camp, it was pretty much taken for granted. Gramsat's the backup.
Right, no doubt.
Yeah. So Latif's emergence. So he obviously practiced well. And then to go into the game and complete 6 of 7, you knew he'd look good running it because they tell you all the time that he looks good running it. So, and then he seems to run the offense really well, processed it, the field well.
Next question.
Okay, after 2 games, does your season win-loss prediction change?
No, I mean, I'm still hanging in that 8 area. I mean, I think you got Michigan, you have USC, you have Penn State, those 3, Minnesota, Iowa. There's 5 really tough games there already, you know, and how many of those can Nebraska win? I think it's kind of, you know, you expect them to beat Michigan State, but that won't be easy. You expect them to win at Maryland. That won't be easy, as we know. You expect them to beat Northwestern, UCLA. Not guarantees by any means, but USC is leading the nation in points right now.
Yeah.
Michigan is Michigan. They have talent. There's a lot there, but I do think, you know, 8 is still kind of where I hang right now.
If anything, I would say I thought there was a chance. I picked 8 and 4 with a chance to get 9 if they get some bounces their way. I'd like those chances a little bit more after 2 games, especially because they won that Cincinnati game. Like the way that they won that type of game by finishing it off, by making the big play at the end, gives you a little bit more hope that when it comes to conference play and those 50-50 games where it's going to once again come down to the wire, you believe in Nebraska being able to finish a little bit more after that one than maybe you did going.
We're on the same page. It's all of us and probably a lot of people in the fan base that are in that 8 to 9 range. Now, the only thing I can add is the conversation is heavily affected by the way the teams on your schedule evolve. And Michigan has evolved downward. Everybody I talk to, there's people that would remember when we just said in the preseason, oh, Michigan's 4th. They're just deadlocked in the 4th, best in the league. They're not now. Now there'll be people that put them 5th, 6th, 7th. So I think that game's easier. There's games that are harder though. I think USC is going to be harder than we thought. USC they've added a lot.
They've scheduled 2 easy games, but that's been smart by their part. They've gotten some.
They look different, Sean.
They've gotten some. Well, and they've established momentum. They didn't open with LSU this year.
Now the good news is evolving discussions. UCLA looks like they're in trouble. Oof. They just look like they're in
I
trouble.
think Foster's going to make it the rest of the year.
I don't know.
There is going to be more Nebraska fans in LA than UCLA fans.
Oh, yeah.
UCLA's in deep trouble. Now they play New Mexico this week. If you turn on that game at 9 p.m. it's on Friday night, I bet you'll see 15,000 people in the Rose Bowl. That's a red flag. I mean, that's a horrible.
That's how guys get fired.
Yeah. You might see 20, but there's not going to be a lot. But it seems like people are already giving up on Foster.
All right. Final question, Abby.
Okay. Outside of Memorial Stadium, what is the best night game environment you've ever experienced?
For me, 2010 Texas A&M is up there. It was Nebraska's final year in the Big 12.
Pick one.
That's the game.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't pick a bunch.
I'm explaining the set.
I thought you were going to start.
They would allow him to talk.
I'm sorry.
I'm still explaining my one. A little too much Crani-Yum over there. But that setting, they added additional seats around the field. I mean, they probably piled in like 10,000 temporary bleachers to what they already had.
Oh, it's nuts.
And it was a night game in November, nationally televised. Brett Musburger was calling it with Herb Street as the color man. And that was one of the more raucous road games that I can remember in terms of their organized cheering and the chants they do at A&M is already at an elite level. And then they upset Nebraska 9-6. Was it 9-6?
Help you, Rob.
I think it was 9-6.
I think that's right. Yeah, it sounds right. How can that program, how can it not be better? I don't understand it. They got all the money in the world, literally. And then you have that. I just don't get it. I don't know why they've never really been a factor in the national title discussion.
The 2011 Wisconsin game when Nebraska went up there for their very first Big Ten game, the Russell Wilson Wisconsin team.
Oh, God.
That was as wild of a scene as, I mean, for good and bad. Like, it was electric, and I know a lot of Nebraska fans did not have a very good time.
15 years ago.
It was
no, they didn't.
Yeah, it was kind of a hornet's nest that they walked into.
Russell Wilson, like, I didn't know what to think of him after that game. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is so good.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's
lasers.
But that game was incredible just because like that was the first time seeing the jump around and all that. And like that was like peak Wisconsin football. And they gave Nebraska a welcome to the Big Ten moment for sure.
You walked into a Hornet's nest in the stadium, then you walked into another Hornet's nest on that street that you had to get.
Walking back to the parking garage, which was like a mile away.
And there's all these big blonde-haired people.
These just Nordic dudes screaming in your face.
Yeah, like they're all big. Men, women. I mean, it's like how I am small. I mean, that I was freaked out by it.
Shirtless giant.
Sean, you
Viking
were
dudes.
small in that
Yeah.
crowd.
Oh, for sure.
God damn.
I joked. Thor
It was like
Tripp-
being in Tijuana, but it was like a bunch of white tall people.
Thor Tripp was a big guy in our group from Channel 7. And I said, it's like we're around a bunch of Thor Trips.
Yeah.
Everyone was like Thor's size.
He's pretty normal size there. Best road environment I saw was that the whiteout at Penn State when Jamal.
02? Was it actually called the whiteout for that
I
game?
don't know that, but it was a whiteout.
It was that was intense.
It was Larry Johnson ran wild that night, and poor Jamal was a first-year starter, and his eyes were huge. I just think it was way too much for. I love Jamal. He's one of my all-time favorite players. I just think that was way too much. Plus, Larry Johnson was way too much.
Missouri, like on 07 or 05, I think the 07 game was a night game. And 05 might have been a 2. But I think the 07 Missouri night game would be up there too. Like
that was nasty.
That's one you don't think about right away. That's a good one.
I mean,
hey, when I interrupted you, I thought you were gonna like list 5.
take all of them. And
Yeah,
leave
and
you
then-
with none.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna whip through like 5.
I was.
Crani-Yum.
You would allow me to finish.
I like 02 Penn State, 2011 Wisconsin.
Here's my top 10.
What do you guys like? Abby, do you have a night? I know you haven't traveled to a lot of the football games, but is there any that jump out from the TV to you? You're an Arrowhead. That has to be up there.
Yeah, no, Arrowhead was outstanding.
You like that, didn't you?
Yeah, it was really fun. It's hard. There's a lot of like volleyball night games, but they're all inside. So like, yes, they're electric, and I think night games typically are electric.
How about this? The best non-Nebraska volleyball venue you've been to, like atmosphere.
She hasn't been to a lot of.
I've been to a few.
Texas probably was one of them.
Yeah, no, Texas is a great call. I went there. I think it was 2021. And that was insane. Honestly, my ears were buzzing for the next day. It was so loud. Gregory Coliseum, but it's like all concrete, kind of like Nebraska's old Coliseum. So it was just like insanely loud in there. And then Nebraska upset them.
Wow.
Literally great game, insane environment. I'll never forget one of the Texas fans like poked me and was like, "Hey, in the 5th set, do they still go to 25?" Or I was like, "No, they've played a 15." And I thought that was really interesting because I don't think we have that problem here in Nebraska.
No,
Probably not.
Pretty good understanding of the rules.
Probably
Yeah.
not.
Abby, Purdue is in the Big Ten, kind of an under the radar road atmosphere, right? They pack them in there at Purdue.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of great atmospheres in Big Ten volleyball, but yeah, Purdue is definitely up there. And then, Wisconsin, and some of them, like, they're smaller gyms. So sometimes it just feels like a lot of the players say it's like the crowd is on top of you because it's so small, but so loud. But yeah, there's some difficult ones.
It's like the Nebraska spring match for some of those plays, like as far as like the setting of the gym.
Yeah, totally packed.
All right. Well, fun, guys.
Yeah.
Good work, team.
Good segment.
Good job, Sip. All right. When we come back, we'll recap Big Ten Week 2 and get you ready for Week 3. You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. Final segment here of the Husker Online Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washut. This segment brought to you by Crani-Yum. We're all drinking it right now, getting us through after a night game week especially. You need this. Gives you that lift. Locally owned, based in Fremont. It is one of those drinks that is more suitable for a wider age range of people as well. They have 80-year-old women who drink Crani-Yum, they tell me.
Yep, I believe it.
Moderate caffeine content. It's all natural. It has nootropics for mental clarity. No sugar, artificial colors, or flavor. And it's a more functional beverage than your traditional energy drink. You can find it at all your Hy-Vee Health Markets in eastern Nebraska and Council Bluffs, as well as a lot of your independent retailers, such as supplement stores. It comes now in 5 flavors. Personally, I'm still a fan of the Blue Twist. I know that's Sipple's favorite.
Pick one.
Blue Twist. I will get all the Blue Twist. But use the promo code HuskerOnline. Go to Drink Crani-Yum. That's YUM at the end. DrinkCrani-Yum.com. Use the promo code HuskerOnline. You'll get 10% off your order with free shipping. That's the best deal you'll get with Crani-Yum. Take advantage of it and get 10% off your order of Crani-Yum. All right, let's get in the Big Ten games, guys. Some interesting matchups last week. I'm just going to kind of go through the notable ones, but Illinois goes into Duke and hammers them 45-19. That's a good win for the Big Ten. Iowa State, though, takes care of Iowa 16-13. It was Iowa State's first win over the Hawkeyes in Ames since 2011.
Wow. Here's my comment. My one comment. Iowa, see, when we were talking a previous segment about teams, the discussions evolve. Iowa looks like a team that will be somewhere between 12 and 18. 12th and 18th best in the league.
It's you have to be careful as a Nebraska guy, say, because the Iowa fan will say, "Well, we beat you guys." Like,
I understand,
and they
I get that.
They fire that at you in your face.
They've won 6 straight in Lincoln.
Right, and so they have. So you can't argue. They have beat Nebraska
6 straight.
But we can say they have not looked good. Like,
no, they haven't.
And like, there's nothing to do about Nebraska. Like, Iowa's not looked good.
No, Gronowski's been, I'd say, a borderline disaster.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the X factor, and it's still early. Maybe they'll find their footing, but right now they got a lot of work to do. And then the other issue is that, a lot of times Iowa could just work around that with elite special teams and defense. I don't
see elite defense.
It's been hit and miss.
Yeah.
Oregon hammers Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State 69-3. I mean, they treated Mike Gundy's team like an FCS team coming into Eugene.
Well, did you see Dan Lanning's comments? Where just like, you don't need motivation, but when they throw some gas on the fire, and
it helps.
Threw some gas. So they were making a statement.
Michigan State gets a big win over Boston College, 42-40 in double overtime. Sparty now 2-0. That's a really solid win for their program. USC hung 59 on Georgia Southern. Oklahoma beats Michigan 24-13, and kind of the game of the week in college football. And then lastly, UNLV takes care of UCLA 30-23. The Bruins are 0-2 right now. Maryland did beat Northern Illinois as well. Northwestern beat Western Illinois. But I'll start, guys. I think the Michigan game was the most notable because now Sharon Moore is suspended for 2 weeks. Biff Poggi is going to Poggi.
Yeah.
I got my St. Stan's Polish Festival pierogi.
You might be right.
Pierogi.
But yeah, he's going to be the interim.
And so that's going to be notable because in 2 weeks, it will not be Sharon Moore in Lincoln.
Yeah, coming off a tough loss like that without your head coach on the sidelines, that's notable.
Yeah, and I get. Now, people are going to probably say, look, Sipple, you're reacting a little too strongly when you're judging Iowa like that, maybe even when you're judging Michigan like that. That's kind of what we do in college football. We overreact to everything. I'm just telling you that Gronowski is not what they thought, and hey, up front on Iowa, up front, not great. I mean, that's not the Iowa I've seen many years, especially on the defensive line. One of the biggest fallacies in college football is that Iowa's always good up front on offense. They haven't been that good up front on offense, but they're just not good up front on either side right now.
They've never been a stat team. They play a different style of game.
Mm-hmm. They don't have much skill. And like I said, their quarterback, I think, is headed towards disaster. They're paying him a lot of money, and it doesn't look good. He doesn't read the field very well. I think there's a lot of things they didn't understand about him, and maybe you can't understand until he's in a game like Iowa State. A game with a good foe, a lot of attention. It's a lot of pressure. It's different.
All right, we got to zip through next week's games now. Of note here, Oregon, big noon kickoff will be at Northwestern. Fox really wanted Oregon, obviously, in a big noon window, so they took that game this week for big noon. USC is at Purdue. That's the 2:30 CBS game. Ohio goes to Ohio State, and that's notable because the Bobcats just beat West Virginia. Spread on that is 31.5. Other notable games, I think this is the one that gets my attention probably as much as any, is Minnesota goes to Cal. and the Gophers are a 1.5 favorite in Berkeley for that game. So we'll see how good they are. And then Wisconsin is at Alabama. That spread's at 21 points right now.
That's an interesting game. I think now what would really cause me a lot of confusion is if Purdue would hang with USC. Now Purdue's 2-0. They look much better right now. I just, if USC is what I think, they'll go in there and win by 30 plus.
Yeah, they're 21-point favorites for a reason. So we'll see. But I'm pretty confident in USC on that one.
And I'm going to be watching New Mexico at UCLA.
Yeah, watch them.
So Jason Eck is the head coach of New Mexico.
Okay.
And he was at South Dakota State as an assistant.
Okay.
Became the head coach of Idaho. He got Idaho to like top 10.
Okay.
And Dan Jackson was his D coordinator. Ex and old Wisconsin Barry Alvarez O lineman. He's a real meat and potatoes guy. And that spread's only 15.5.
And well, New Mexico went to Michigan and had that game close in the second half. That gets overlooked, but New Mexico did a good job.
Jason Eck will have that team ready to go in there.
Are you going to watch that? It's Friday night.
Oh, that is Friday. Yeah.
Will you be allowed to watch that?
Heck yeah. 9 o'clock. I might be tipping over a couple zip lines by that point.
Get some of the big IPAs.
It's the West Coast IPA.
I think that's a great game to watch. Now we got an early kickoff the next day.
That's all right.
All right. Well, lots to keep up on. Husker Online Postgame Live will be earlier this week because of the night game. So probably will be on around 4:30 is my guess.
Hello.
4:30 to 5:30, 6 o'clock. So
no reason to go to. We should be on the screen at 5. No matter.
Yeah,
what.
we should. Oh yeah, the game is going to end at 2:30.
I hope to
for
have
God's
the
sake.
majority
We're
of
not
my
done
writing
by
done.
5.
Yes.
Come on, this is
Right.
not 1987.
Here we go with the Sipple comment.
Have to write my game story.
Nope.
I am the.
Don't do that.
All right. Well,
Don't do stuff like that.
join us, Husker Online Postgame Live for Steve Sipple, Robin Washett. I'm Sean Callahan.